What your child eats at school is changing. The days of turkey Twizzlers and deep-fat fryers are numbered, as the DFES has introduced new healthy standards for school food. This drive to improve school meals will only succeed with the help of parents and carers. Coming up, we discover how a parent action group in South London have already helped to improve school food in their area. Go to Ross-on-Wye to look at what happens when parents start running school meals themselves, and take a look at how parents and carers at this school in the Black Country are sitting down with their children to learn about healthy eating. Do you remember your school dinners with horror? Memories of soggy cabbage and semolina? Well, times have changed, and to find out how much, some parents have been trying out their children's school dinners for themselves.
I've had a salmon fish cake with baked beans and new potatoes, and it was delicious.
Merton parents have achieved national recognition for their efforts to help improve food standards in local schools. Chris McNicholas joined after his 2 children came home from school refusing to eat school lunches.
I'm a governor, so let's go and see what the school dinners are like. And all the kids are coming up to me and saying, try the broccoli. You must try the broccoli because it's disgusting. And it's there swimming in water. You can't disguise the fact the food was not good. So it was a case of sort of getting involved to see what we could do, really.
Jackie Schneider has been vice chair of the group for 2 years.
As a parent of 3 boys, I decided that actually, maybe it was time that parents actually got involved. So I spoke to my local paper and said I wanted to set up a meeting of parents, anybody who was interested in school food.
Now the group meets once a month to monitor healthy eating progress in the borough.
They're all within the School Food Trust guidelines. Some of them are a little bit thin, but the portion sizes are much better.
Merton parents are delighted about the new guidelines, but know that the continued voice of parents is crucial.
There is a role for parents to play in helping the authority, working, devising menus, trying things out with children, talking to parents. Where parents play a role, the food seems to improve and children seem braver about trying things.
Another member of the group, Helen Clark-Bell, is a parent governor at Wimbledon Park Primary. After her children complained about school food, Helen decided to take more of an active role to try to improve standards. She now regularly eats lunch at the school with her children.
So the school dinner's been better this term?
Yeah.
Yes?
No, it's got healthier.
The food is much, much better at Wimbledon Park now. The children come out, they are loving the food. It's extraordinary to see them just devour it. There's a terrific range, there's a full variety. The vegetables are always fresh, they're crunchy, and it is freshly cooked on the premises, and I think that makes a big difference. It's working in partnership, really, with the catering company and keeping everybody on a level playing field that has made it such a success at Wimbledon Park.
The new standards for food in schools will provide even clearer guidelines for caterers to follow. So it's time to say goodbye to those plain unhealthy meals and welcome more nutritious options into your child's school.
At the end of the day, we actually are the best advert for school lunches, because if we as parents are enthusing about them and our children are eating them, then it does give confidence to other parents. Ask your school what changes they've made to the food to meet the new standards this September.
More fruit and vegetables. No confectionery. Deep fried foods are restricted. No savory snacks.
In rural England, life can seem to move at a different pace. But for parents at Goodrich Primary and Leafy Ross-on-Wye, improving school food has long been a pressing issue. Parents there have been running school dinners on a voluntary basis since the early 80s.
Do you want sweet corn or baked beans with it?
One of the latest parents to take up the baton is Annie Lancaster. As part of a 4-strong committee, she plans the meals, manages a tight budget and employs the kitchen staff.
My children were all at school, perhaps I could do with the job. And that's how it started. I took over then, and we had quite a challenge on our hands because things needed updating, really.
Annie was determined to tackle healthy eating issues head-on.
Everything was deep fried. The roast potatoes, the sausages, everything was deep fried. So we decided to clean the fryers out, empty them, not use them again, and just applied basics to the cooking like you would at home for your own children, really.
Currently, one of the biggest challenges at Goodridge is the budget. They can only afford one meal a day and have to make that work for children from 4 to 11 years of age.
The budget is quite tight, so therefore the meat which we use for the roasts and sausages and mince we get from the local butcher where all the meat is sourced locally. Lovely, thank you very much. There's a lot of fruit farms around here. In the summer there are people who will give us strawberries and things like that, so we're lucky in that respect. We can feed the children fairly healthily on a tight budget, as long as you've got people who are interested in what they're doing, passionate about it. So far, so good.
The school now provides a healthy range of food throughout the school year and was recently given outstanding praise by Ofsted for their lunches. Now Annie and the committee are looking forward to the challenge of implementing the government's new standards for school food, using the School Food Trust resources.
Have we got a list of which oily fish are acceptable?
Yeah, there's a list on the internet.
One of the things we need to do this term is to introduce oily fish into the menu, which is quite a challenge for primary school children. So what we've decided to do is to make salmon fish cakes. So we're having a tester today. We're trying them out on salmon fish cakes with lots of fish, breadcrumbs in the oven, and see how they go. I think they'll be quite excited about it.
Getting the children to try new things requires support and encouragement.
You going to try some fish cake then for me? Yeah, he is.
I tried it before at my nan's.
Did you? We're just trying to persuade them to have a little taste and see what they think.
I like my school because it's homemade. The fish cakes are really nice.
I like these fish cakes, don't you? Yeah.
The fish cakes are a big hit, and the Goodridge School Meals Association are determined to have another successful year.
As a parent, I'm 100% behind school meals. At least you know that through the day they're being fed well when they're not with you, and then what you do with them when they come home is up to you, but you know what they've had during the day. And you've got a say, and people do listen to parents. And if enough parents take the initiative or get involved in any way, whether it's with school meals or whether it's with any aspect of school life, you will get listened to. A good way to get children to eat their vegetables without knowing is all kids love pizza. So take some onions and garlic, sweet potatoes, carrots, well, anything that you can grate basically, and mix into a tomato sauce to make a topping for a pizza. And once the cheese is on top and it's been in the oven, they'll never know that they've eaten at least 4 or 5 different veg.
More bread! Free fresh drinking water! No salt and restricted condiments!
In urban areas, there are some great examples of parents and carers working with schools to improve food standards. At Sutton School in the Black Country, much has already been achieved to improve the diet of the pupils and staff both at lunch and break times. But it isn't just what happens in school that's important.
One of the things that we all know about children is consistency. If at school we say you should do this and do that, and it's totally different at home, then they get confused, they don't know what is good and what's right and what's wrong. And what we've tried to do is work with the parents so as we have a consistent approach to the way pupils eat, both here and at home, and when they're out. Away went the crisps, away went the chocolate. There is an opportunity to have milk, healthy snacks, and many of the pupils are queuing up and ready to eat stuff that is very, very healthy.
And to get feedback from parents and carers, they are invited to a healthy eating induction day.
We don't have all the answers, and sometimes you find it works the other way around. Some parents say, well, I actually do this. And we say, well, that's a great idea, we'll do that in school.
Julie Turner is the local healthy food in schools advisor. She gets the group to try some pre-packaged snacks.
This is about £1.27. Now, if you think about it, in Dudley, you can get a school meal for £1.55. These are quite expensive, and they're not very filling. They're okay on occasions. As I say, no food's bad, but you need to limit it.
It's very tasteless.
They are very processed.
But it's not just snacks that come into school that are important. It's vital they get healthy food at home too.
I know that sometimes it's easy to go home and throw something out the freezer, ready-made, into the oven. But you could do things by making them from scratch, just as quick as anything that you can buy from the shops.
Teaching assistant and mum Angela Ashby shows the group how easy and tasty homemade pizza can be.
These are pre-made out the freezer. So what we're going to do, we're going to taste the ones that are shop bought, and then when yours have come out the cookers, you can taste yours.
If you can get them to try making their own food, then they are more likely to eat it.
And do they pass the Sutton School taste test?
Right, what's the verdict?
Better.
Much better. Which one was tasted nicer, yours or the one we tried earlier? Homemade. So are you all going to be making yours from now on?
Yes.
Parents and carers from Sutton are providing a great example for others.
I know it's having an effect at home because parents are telling me already that some of the things that we've said are healthy, that pupils are going home and saying, oh, we need to eat this, or can we eat that, or can I try that? And we're developing their ability to discriminate between healthy and non-healthy foods, right across the family.
There's lots of ways that you can get your children to eat fruit. Chop some small bits up, pop them on their breakfast cereal of a morning, or why not try a banana sandwich for their lunch.
More oily fish. Healthier drink. Manufactured meat products are restricted.
The 3 parts of the government's new standards for food in schools will be phased in by September 2009. Interim food-based standards for school lunches in all schools from September 2006. Food-based standards for school food other than lunch to be in all schools by September 2007. Nutrient-based standards and new food-based standards for school lunches will be adopted by primary schools by September 2008 and by secondary schools by September 2009.